Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I created this look for you guys with a very classic red lip with the eyeliner look. So if you guys like what you see, then please make sure to keep on watching so you can learn how to create this look. After I'm done priming my skin with my Nivea Men Aftershave and my e.l.f. moisturizer, I go in with my NYX Angel Veil and just apply on the areas where I have the most pores. So now that I am primed, I'm gonna go in with my foundation, and I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I can't tell you guys how much I love this foundation. It's such a good foundation. Like, if you're on a budget and you want a foundation that's long wearing, mattifying, and full coverage, this is the foundation that you want. And I use the color Golden Beige, and actually this color is too light for me now because I tanned and all of that, so I actually need to get a new color. So when I'm doing my when I'm blending out my foundation, I don't go like this, because this just takes away a lot of the foundation. So I don't like doing this. I just go pat everything in to my skin. Doing patting motions with my foundation helps to make it more full coverage. Wait, hold up. So just now that I did this, my foundation looks really fucking good right now. What the fuck? Okay, so yeah, previously, as I said, I did the whole buffing motion, and as I had mentioned before, it does take away a lot of the product, but it does give me like a more flawless like finish with my foundation. So I mean, I guess I could do the whole buffing motion as the first layer of foundation, and then I have to go in with another layer. Well, not like a full layer, but just a little more. And the second time, I think I'm just gonna do the whole patting motions, not the buffing. So yeah, I guess for the first layer of foundation, the buffing motion really does like look really good, but it does take away a lot of product. And for the second layer of foundation, I'm just patting it in. Okay, so I just finished off applying my foundation, and so when I first buffed the first layer of foundation and then added the second layer by like patting in motions, like it does make a difference. Like buffing in the first layer and then the second layer patting, like it really does make a difference. Like my skin, like it looks like more flawless and like very like not cake. Not that the patting motions really ever made my skin look like cakey, my foundation look cakey, but it really looks a lot better if I buff in the first layer and then just pat with the second layer. I really like the way my foundation looks today, and we're learning things together, guys. So now I'm gonna go in with my concealer, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the color Light, and I love this concealer. I do have very dry under eyes, and I find that this concealer like isn't drying. It doesn't make, like when I apply dry concealers, like this one is a very matte concealer. So if I were to just apply this under my eyes, it would make my under eyes look very wrinkly and just very obviously dry. So whenever, if I were to like smile, like you could see like a bunch of wrinkles and creases under my eyes that I don't even have. So that's why I really like this concealer. It doesn't dry my under eyes. It keeps them like hydrated and like very natural looking. And it's not like full coverage. So that's why I go in with this Tarte Shape tape, because this stuff is like super full coverage. So I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline first. And I like to make a line under the eyes first, underneath my eye. And then just a straight line down. And then with whatever's left on the dope foot, I just drag it out. And then I go in with my Tarte Shape tape. I only do a little bit because a little goes a long way. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take my Real Technique sponge. Such a good sponge if you're on a budget and you don't want to pay $20 for a beauty blender. This is such a great buy. It's a great sponge, and I highly recommend this to you guys. Just make sure that when you're blending, you're not only going in one direction. So you're not only blending in one direction. Make sure you're going back and forth, because it really does make a difference when you go back and forth when you're blending your concealer. And I like to bring my concealer up to my lid. Concealer is pretty much what I use as my primer for eyeshadows and stuff. I don't have an actual primer for eyeshadow. I just use concealer. Concealer has always worked great for me as a primer. So now I'm going to go on with my Cody Airspun translucent powder on my beauty sponge, the Real Techniques ones the Real Techniques sponge that I was just using. And I'm just going to take some powder on my sponge, and I'm not going to bake. I do not like to bake because, as I mentioned before, I have very dry under eyes. And if I bake, it's going to make them even more dry. So this little technique that I picked up along the way is where I just take the translucent powder on the sponge and I press it into my under eyes without not allowing it to bake. So I just press it in with the damp sponge. Just like that. And the reason I like to do this as opposed to baking is because, one, baking makes my under eyes look very dry, and secondly, if I just press in the powder, it makes my under eyes look very porcelain looking, if that makes sense. It makes them look very velvety. There you go, that's the word. It makes my eyes look very my under eyes look very soft and just velvety and just smooth. It literally makes my under eyes look pretty much perfect. I know it sounds weird, it probably doesn't even make sense because I suck at explaining things, but it does make a difference on my under eyes if I just press in the powder as opposed to baking. I'm going to bake my smile lines. Guys, when I tell you I have the worst smile lines in the entire world, I literally mean it. I'm always smiling, I'm always laughing, so I always get smile lines. I wish I didn't get smile lines, but I do, and it sucks and I hate it, but whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, I just go in with some powder on my smile lines, and I leave this powder on for quite a while. And with whatever's left, same thing, I put it on my forehead. And I'm also going to bake the bridge of my nose. wherever I have acne. Right now, my acne actually isn't god awful right now. It's being like civil with me. My skin is being, you know, it's being alright. I will be using the ABH Dipbrow in Ebony on my ABH Brow Pencil that I still don't know what number it is. I'm pretty sure it's number 12. Pretty sure. I'll have a link down below this time so you guys know which brush it is. And when you get to the front of the brow, just make sure that the line gets like lighter. And when you're using this product, the Dipbrow, go in with a little bit because this stuff is like very pigmented. And then with whatever's left on my brush from the Dipbrow, I'm just gonna go in and fill in my eyebrow. I just created a line at the very top of my eyebrow and continue to fill in my brow. And now we're gonna go to the front of the eyebrow. So when you get to the front of the eyebrow, you wanna do very light strokes. I mean, you're more than welcome to do heavy strokes if you want a full, like very dark eyebrow. But I do like a full dark eyebrow at the end to the tail, and at the very front I like it to be soft. So I go in with my brush and I do light upward strokes. Brush out my eyebrows first, and then I'm going with the brow pencil. So you just grab a little bit of concealer. I'm grabbing my Maybelline concealer that I use to highlight under my eyes, and I just take a little flat concealer brush. It's from Wet n Wild, and I just apply a straight line of concealer underneath my brows. Okay, so because what we're doing today is a very simple look, I do want the face to be just like very beautiful and like porcelain, velvety, bronzed, highlighted. I just want it all to just look very extra. So now we're gonna go in with bronzer. I couldn't remember what it was called for a second. So I'm gonna go in with my butter bronzer first on my Wet n Wild contour brush, and we're not contouring, we're just bronzing. I mean, I usually wouldn't, well, I actually don't do contour. I haven't contoured my face in a very long time. But if you guys want to see like a contour video, a contour and highlight video, then I'm like more than happy to do it. It's just like I just don't really do it. I just like to bronze. So we're just gonna bronze the face with this. So now that I just finished bronzing up very lightly, I'm going to go in with the NYX Contour and Highlight Palette. As it says, this is meant for contouring and highlighting, but I'm not going to contour. We're just going to use it as bronzer because why not? And I'm literally just going to go into all four of these brushes. I mean, all four of these shades with my brush, and we're just gonna tap off the excess because this palette is very pigmented. And then we're just gonna go over the butter bronzer with more bronzer because I like to be bronzed. So now we're moving on to highlight, and I'm gonna be using the ABH Sundipped Glow Kit. I love this. This is my baby. I use it all the time, so get used to it. Just kidding. Okay, so I just finished applying my highlight, and now we're gonna go in with some blush, and I'm gonna be using my MAC Warm Soul that I'm like running out of. Also my favorite. I like to use my favorite things to do my face, obviously. So yeah, I'm just gonna apply some blush on the apples of my cheeks. So you're gonna go ahead and grab some tape, and we're gonna use this tape to create a perfect wing liner. When I was starting off in makeup and like learning how to like do like the basic things, and like learning how to do eyeliner, I used tape. It was like a good start for me, and you want to make sure that if you're like trying to like learn how to do winged eyeliner and you want to learn with the tape technique, try to not do it all the time, because then you're going to be so dependent on this tape that when you try to do it without the tape, it's just not going to be as good. And you need to practice with and without, with and without, and you need to, the tape is just like your training wheels basically. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my tape, but when you're applying your tape, you want to make sure that it's even with the other eye. And the way I like to make sure that they're both even is I just like to look at them, really inspect them, and I also like to touch them. So touch to see if they feel even. And this one is lower than this one, so what I like to do is I just... Okay, and I'm going to be using this Maybelline Line Stiletto eyeliner. I just found it and I picked it up and I was like, well, let's give it a try. So we're going to be testing this out today and see if I like it or not. So first thing that I like to do personally is I like to create the line. Okay, and there is my line. Okay, very simple. And then I like to start creating the line on my lid. Honestly guys, I haven't done a winged liner in so long. I actually don't even remember the last time I did a winged eyeliner. So I'm gonna try my best. I don't think I forgot how to do it, but if I did, I'm so sorry. So I like to start from the line, the outer line, and connect it to the lid. And I think I want this longer. Okay. Okay guys, so there's the wing that I created. So let's go ahead and take off the tape and see the final result. So do you guys see how clean and sharp that wing is? Yes. That's exactly how I like my wings to be, like sharp and clean. So there's this little spot where I fucked up because like I moved, like my arm just like decided to play me and it moved without my permission. But yeah, it's so easy to create a winged eyeliner with tape. I like really suggest that if you're like starting off with winged eyeliner, if you just can't even get the hang of it, like wing liner is just your worst enemy, but you like the way it looks on you, then just use tape. Tape is really your best friend when you're trying to do winged eyeliner. Okay, so I finished off putting on my eyeliner, and I just went ahead and added some lashes, and I did the Ardell Whispies. Yeah, just a very simple, like easy natural lash. I didn't want anything too crazy for this look. And now we're gonna get to the fun part. So with this lip pencil, we're just gonna outline the lips. Okay, so we finished outlining the lips, and now we're gonna go in with the Kat Von D Outlaw liquid lipstick. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something out of it. So if you guys like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and on your way out, please don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.